Warning, hopping freight trains is dangerous and illegal in the United States. It should only be attempted by trained professionals on a closed course. This video was made from some micro SD cards I found. Do not attempt to replicate these stunts unless you are that dancer guy.
So when I was here in Tacoma last, you may remember we got in at night and had to sleep right there in the bushes right there in that little crease there. Very comfortable, highly recommended sleep spot in Tacoma if you come here. And it's over the edge behind these bushes, so when they do the patrols, see, they have these patrols that they do on these golf carts that come around and shine a spotlight. And I was still putting my stuff away up top here, right behind that tree. And the guy shined a spotlight right at me. And just kept going. You're not supposed to be camping here overnight. So it rained that night, and I just put my tarp over and stayed dry and toasty all night long. It was an excellent, most excellent overnight camping experience right here in downtown Tacoma. And there was no wind, so I didn't even have to tie my tarp down. So there you go. And the train's here all night long, roaring and clanking and everything, squealing, going around the bend. Okay, we're gonna get out of here now. We got a special place we need to hit. So this is a nice view of the Foss Waterway, Foss, F-O-S-S, Foss Waterway, connected out there to Commencement Bay, which connects to the greater Puget Sound. Sweet. There's an oil train, probably on its way out from North Dakota. That's a tough ride, but it's been done before. I wouldn't do it. I'm over here hanging out in the port of Tacoma, near these tracks that feed the BNSF yard and the Union Pacific Fife yard with stacks. I don't know if these stacks are going in and out, in or out. Every time they move to the right, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I better get on this. Every time they move to the left, I'm thinking, oh, maybe they're going back into the port. I don't know if these are here to load or unload, but they're definitely Union Pacific. So you got the Schneider, the Hub, the EMP, STG Logistics. Yeah, that has Union Pacific written all over it. So that's where they're going. They either just came from the Fife yard, or they're going to go to the Fife yard. One of the problems is that none of the well cars is rideable. They're either the kind that fall all the way through, or there's no cover on the top. It's just they're not rideable. I went over there and checked them all the way just around the corner there. Going to the left. Good thing I didn't get on it. That heads back into the port. Like maybe these are the stacks that came off the LCTM. So that's the Puyallup River. Looking upstream, you'll see I-5 southbound lanes, and in the background, that's the Union Pacific's bridge over the Puyallup River. Okay, so now we have this train on the Union Pacific's tracks going into and out of the port. That'd be a ride right there in the dark at night. I'm gonna have to go down there and see what else might be rideable down there. But that one sure looks delicious. It's just a bit too visible for daytime. I went down here and looked a little more, but there's nothing rideable, at least until you get in front of these workers that were down here. Okay, they're gone now. Oh shit, that's the locomotive right there. And I went over and checked those Viking ships right there, and they're not really rideable. I mean, there is a shelf there, but you could just fall right off. I don't think that's a good idea. This is the I-5 southbound lanes over the Puyallup River. I-5 northbound. And that railroad bridge back there is the Union Pacific's bridge, again over the Puyallup River, looking at it from the same side as we did before, but obviously much closer. So when they do the final pushback on the final push in on the stacks that they pull out of the port, they actually will sometimes have the lead locomotives for the I-TAG2 on the back as they push, and then you know, of course it'll head back out of the yard, only this time forward and across that bridge. I got on a train, but this is not really a train yet. It's just a cut of cars coming out of the port. So I'm looking back towards the Union Pacific's Fife yard, and as you can see, there's hardly any room here. I mean, there's not enough room for my stuff, and I guess I could hide under my tarp, but this is not a good ride here. This one is a bad one. I could walk down there, but at some point Yeah, I don't see anything that's rideable down there. Shit. Okay, I'm good. So I don't want to get the camera too high, because if I get over, this is just a single stack behind me, and if I get too high, then there is a camera back there that watches down this whole string of cars. So the last time they pushed a cut of cars that looked like this into the yard, it was in preparation to depart almost immediately. So they took like about 10 or 15 minutes. You know, they must have already called the crew, and they aired up and they just took off. And by the time I realized what was going on, it was too late for me to get in position. So here we are, learning that lesson. Now I'm facing backwards. I'm riding clean face here, facing backwards at that single stack there. And to my left I have a IM that's just sitting there because it's probably lower priority and they want to get this one out first. And I have a a GM to my left. I am to the right. Over time there's becoming fewer and fewer rides. Yeah, that would be a terrible ride. I mean, what are you gonna do? Sit on that flat spot and put your feet on the front rail there and ride it like a stagecoach? Anyways, generally considered not feasible, but I'm sure it's been done. So I'm hearing some air come in here. Maybe you can hear that. The hiss. The hiss of the brakes releasing. At least that's what I think it is. We'll find out. So I gotta stay down. I'm gonna be underneath this tarp here. The tarp is close to the same color of brown as the well car. So maybe it'll work, and maybe it won't. We're gonna find out. I just came pretty close to losing my camera down the well. That's one of the things you got to watch out for when you're on a stack train. Even the best stack train ride, if you drop something and it goes down here, I don't think you're going to get it back. Just saying. And here we are on the Puyallup River Bridge, heading what will be southbound to join up with the BNSF tracks in Tacoma. So as we pass over the Puyallup River, we cross over from Fife into the city of Tacoma. I don't want to get up too high because they do have a lot of cameras in the BNSF's yard there in Tacoma, and I don't know if they care about UP stack trains passing through, but if they do, I don't want to be seen, so I'm not going to be able to really film this part too well. But we're going to make a right turn here, join up with the BNSF tracks, pass up underneath the overpass, and head south, hopefully, to Vancouver, Washington. So we're on the Tacoma waterfront. You've seen this before. I'll stick the camera up. I can't get too high myself. This pocket that I'm in is very shallow, so if I sit up, I will not be low profile anymore. So that's what it looks like. we go inside the Ruston Tunnel. A little less than a mile long. So, I don't have enough light to be able to see the roof. I don't know if you can see that. Nothing to see in here anyway. Slight smell of diesel smoke, as you might expect. There you have it. So, coming out of the tunnel, you're back looking at the Puget Sound. That's what it looked like. Basically nothing to see on this side. Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Here we go. Day Island, D-A-Y, Day Island. Nice place. Brakes are on. I don't know if that means we're stopping. Beautiful Olympic mountains there. I guess this answers the question about whether or not we're stopping. Stopped. Well, looks like that's about the best view of the Olympic Mountains we're going to get with this camera.
How about we stop at Thompson Road? I got a 1020 dog catch for you, over.
Here comes a coal train, I think. We'll find out. I can't look around the corner right now. So what you're looking at is a full coal train coming out of, there's a couple mines, Black Thunder. There's three mines. Two of them are in Montana. One is in Wyoming. It's basically the same coal field. And don't know why he's slowing down. He should be hauling butt right now. Maybe we're in the middle of a traffic jam. Anyway, so these are full. Let's see if they're full. Yeah, they're full, and by the way, we just rolled forward about 1 foot. We're moving. Okay, so we're moving. Yeah, that coal comes out of 2 coal fields in Montana. One of which is the only underground coal mine in Montana. Yep, full coal train coming out of Montana or northern Wyoming. I'll look it up in a couple minutes. And then heading on up to Roberts Bank, Canada. Roberts Bank, Canada, to be unloaded and probably taken over to China. There you have it. Okay, so that is coal from the Black Thunder mine coming out of Thunder Junction, Wyoming to Roberts Bank, Canada, Delta, BC, it says, for loading into ships and taken overseas, and there it goes. on my previous catch-out spot when I hopped north out of here, just from Lacey to Tacoma. Episodes 1 through 4. Coming up on Rainier Road. That's it. Chehalis Western Trail. That's it. Over there you see the Skookumchuck River. And although we stopped, there was a call on the radio that made it sound like they want this train to move down a ways to make room behind it so that the Amtrak can come through. At least that's what it sounded like. So I wouldn't be surprised if we moved and then stopped again up ahead. We'll find out. Nice little river there. Nice peaceful little current. Just float down that sucker. Watch out for all the snags. That'll kill you. Other parts of the country that would only qualify as a creek. But they do call it a river. Skookumchuck, the river. Oh, this is in Centralia, where the trash comes out of. So they got a big trash reloading facility here. This trash is going down to Roosevelt, Washington. There's a big landfill on the north side of the Columbia River there. I gotta get down. So we moved forward again and stopped again. We've got a train coming up behind us. Probably the Amtrak that I heard about on the radio. I don't know if you can see the green signal up there. Green over red. So whatever it is coming up from behind. This is a very nice day. Probably optimum weather for hopping a freight train, at least during the daytime. I think it's about 65 now and sunny, but I'm in the shade. Nice. Very nice. I keep thinking about maybe walking back there and seeing if there's a better ride. Probably should have done that already, because I know what stopped it. I know why we're stopping, so there's no way we can start back up until Amtrak comes by. Let me think about that for a second. Just south of Chehalis, Washington. where the maintenance is at. So I think I better try to stay under wraps here. Nice view though. That oil tank train went by, so there's not going to be anything else on that track for, you know, whatever the delay is. but I was hearing on the radio that there is some maintenance going on. In fact, they said something like authorized to pass red flag or something like that. And that's the direction that the tank train just went in, so you'll see nothing from that direction for probably, usually there's a time lag of at least 10-20 minutes, but don't let your life depend on it. So if you look here, this is the international stacks part of the train. In case anybody's interested. If you look back there, what you'll see, and if you look forward, what you'll see is a lot of pink ones. Tex, Triton. The orange is Hapag-Lloyd. So this is how you kind of spot the train and what kind of train it is and where it might be going. So behind us, it's all international stacks. So they're 40-footers, okay? Some of them are 40-footers in 53-foot well cars. So of course then there's a suicide place down there that you don't want to be. So behind us, of course, we have K-Line. Those are the internationals that come out of Port of Tacoma. There's a few more I could name off if I could think of them. But ahead of us, you'll see that these international stacks, which include all the pink ones you see, are, wow, he sounded the horn. That means he's going to move probably. Okay, so it reaches a point where the green containers, instead of being UASC and Evergreen, are actually Hub and EMP. And where the orange containers, instead of being Hapag-Lloyd, are now Schneider. And forward to that point, you will see no more Evergreen containers on the I-TAG2. Forward to that point, you will see no more Triton, no more Tex, no more ones, no more of these here. And at that point, where the train changes is actually within view of the camera, almost around the corner. There's a, you might see, if you can see that green over orange container there. Well, that orange container there is a Schneider container, and it's got a Hub container on top of it, and those are 53s forward to that point. And the pink one that appears there is first is a 40-footer. And all the pink ones are 40-footers. Back there, you'll see there's orange containers. Those are not Schneider Trucking. Those are Hapag-Lloyd. Almost the same color, but different company. So anyway, so you watch trains long enough and you get the feel of how they put them together, how they take them apart. I heard a horn up there, and I don't know if that's our train or what does that mean, because the fact is, I think our train still has the brakes on. But I don't want to be wrong about that. So I'm hanging on here anyways. But if it was another train, he'll be coming around the bend this way. You can see these ties, some ties recently replaced here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is part of the maintenance that they're doing. You can smell the creosote. Very peaceful out here. is City of Vader. Oh shit. Those looked unoccupied. See the wastewater treatment plant. That's the wastewater treatment plant. Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington. Those rivers turn north by this point. There's your Columbia River. So to the right is flowing downstream to the right out to the ocean eventually. Nice. We'll be coming into Vancouver, Washington here pretty soon. We'll see how that goes. So, I'm pretty sure we're in Vancouver, Washington. That's what it looks like looking back north. That's what it looks like looking south. Something's airing up. It's us. Okay, so I'm not sure why we stopped, but we did. I was intrigued by the fact that this looks like... Oh, we're gonna move. I was intrigued by the fact that this looks like a main right here. But then so does that over there. Those two look like mains. I'm not sure how many mains we have here, but that's what it looks like. And we are moving now, slowly. And that's what it looks like looking to the south towards the Columbia River crossing in the Vancouver Yard. How about that? We're on Hayden Island. That's some sort of a car auctioning place. You can see it on Google Earth. Off to this side you just have some swampy ground. Stobe and Wingman hopped out of here. I think it was about a couple thousand feet back. It's supposed to be a pretty easy place to hop out of. There's Mount Hood in the distance. You can see that. Don't know if you can see that. Because we are the stack train heading to Chicago. G2, North Lake. For free, I might add. That's if we make it, which is not assured at all. I did not think that we would change crews in Vancouver. I would think that we would change crews somewhere within the next mile or two. Maybe we'll never know. I wonder if this means that we're going out along the 84. Yeah. Along the 84 to the Columbia River. Could be. That was a sharp curve. Stack City. And we're in Portland, by the way, Portland, Oregon. That's some kind of a golf course there. See how green that is? Oh, it's all the way over here too. The golf course. You gotta love it. So this, if I had to guess, I would guess that this is where we would change crews. In fact, I kind of think I see a crew change van way up there, kind of sparkling. Yeah. Crew change, baby. Oh shit.
There's a dude over there. He's a railroad worker, obviously, and he is switching those tanks. Not sure what else he's doing, but I think he's switching those tanks. He is in the orange vest. Right there by the back of that tank car. Cool. I just realized that the big left turn that we just made, and I think I saw the crew van down there, was just to get this train off of the BNSF main. So the Union Pacific shares trackage rights with BNSF up to that point, which is only just a couple thousand feet behind us. And you make a big left turn. Union Pacific trains make a big left turn here. They do not go straight, okay, which would go down to Eugene, for instance. They make the big left turn here, and then it's unclear to me whether we make another left turn and go out to the Columbia Gorge via parallel to Columbia Boulevard, or whether we go straight through the tunnel and into another yard, and then we get parallel to the 84 before we hit the Columbia Gorge. So anyways, just a point of confusion on my part, but we'll see. If they don't kick me off this train, we will find out.